Well, this is some other kind of love. This is love of a garden. So I have a friend named Mary Stone, and she is one of my dearest friends. I knew her when I was 19, and I lived here on Siesta Key and worked at the Wildflower Restaurant. I know. Yeah, I was one of those. And I worked in the health food store next door and all of that stuff, and was a waitress mostly. And I lived next to Peggy Pitts and Mary Stone, and they all had a little cottage. Back then, Siesta Key had little funky cottages with lots of cockroaches, and back then I could handle it. I don't know. I've become very fearful of bugs, but anyway. And I lived there for about 2 years, and I think I was all of 19, and Mary and I had a really strong connection. She has a beautiful voice, but she was always a gardener. She's a gardener since, her whole life. She knows how to talk to plants and how to grow them, and she understands Florida gardening. And when I moved here, I moved like literally less than a mile away from her. She's down the street, and when I found this little house, Abby and I were looking for a house, and she looked at my yard, and I'm like, I don't really do gardening. And she's like, no problem, So she just kept showing up with plants, and she mulched it, and, well, you guys got to dig out 10 feet here, and no, you got to dig out more, Don't make it a straight line, make it on a curve, So there were all these things that she taught me about gardening, and now we have this beautiful little paradise in our yard. You've seen it, and it's a tropical paradise, and she just keeps bringing me plants and teaching me about gardening. So I love her so much because she's so full of wisdom, and she must have, she had 9 cats once, so God love her. I can barely handle 2. So anyway, so here's my song to Mary, and of course I named my beautiful garden Mary's Garden. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. I knew her so long ago, and she still is so beautiful. And I've come back to the sea, and she has given so much to me, like the Florida skies at night. I see her clouds and her bright light, but the sweetest gift I see is the garden she planted for me. And I water it with drops of love, and I thank my lucky stars above that every day I get to see Mary's garden is smiling back at me. And I've listened like a child to all of her stories of the wild. She's always been so honest and true, with ocean eyes, the most beautiful blue. And like the Florida skies at night, I see her clouds and her bright light. But the sweetest gift I see is the garden she planted for me. And I water it with drops of love, and I thank my lucky stars above that every day I get to see Mary's garden is smiling back at me. Oh, Mary's garden is smiling back at me. Mary's garden is smiling back at me. So I've learned that gardens are healing.